Hi everyone, and thank you so much for watching my channel, The Witty Turtle. In this video, we are going to start with the concept additional depreciation, which is laid down in section 32, clause 1. Clause 1 in subclause 2a. Right. So, what is the meaning of additional depreciation? We know that while calculating the PGBP income of a particular business, certain rate of depreciation is allowed, right? Certain rate of depreciation is allowed. But after calculating, after allowing that depreciation for some businesses and for some assets, additional depreciation at a rate of 20% on cost is again allowed. So let us go further into the details of this particular concept. So first we have to understand that who are the eligible SSEs, right? So this additional depreciation is provided or is allowed to how many SSEs? So this is allowed to total four kinds of SSEs. The first one is that SSEs who are engaged in any kind of manufacturing or any kind of production. Second is what? SSEs who are engaged in any kind of power generation, SSEs who are engaged in power transmission, and SSEs who are engaged in power distribution. Right? So, how many eligible SSEs are there? Four: manufacturing or production, power generation, power distribution, and power transmission. Now, after that, additional depreciation is allowed at the rate of 20% on the actual cost of plant or machinery, right? So we know that how many class of assets are there? There are four class of assets. One is your building, furniture, intangible assets, and lastly your plant and machinery. So इन तीनों पे additional depreciation नहीं मिलता है. Additional depreciation is not provided on buildings or furnitures or intangible asset. It is only provided on your plants and machinery. That too only the new plants and machineries. Additional depreciation is not allowed on any kind of second hand plant or machinery, right? And again, it is provided at the rate of 20% on actual cost. 20% on actual cost. Generally, your depreciation, your normal depreciation is provided on the written down value of that particular asset, but additional depreciation is always provided on the actual cost of that new plant or machinery, right? But there are again certain exceptions. How many exceptions are there? There are a total of four exceptions. The first exception is that your additional depreciation is not provided on second hand plant and machinery. It should be new, it should be newly purchased, right? Your next exception is that additional depreciation is not allowed on those assets which are used in the office premises or at residential accommodations. ओके, कंपनी है, कंपनी ने अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को क्वार्टर प्रोवाइड करा है, ठीक है, रेजिडेंशियल हाउस प्रोवाइड करा है. So you cannot claim depreciation on residential accommodations or office premises, right? And residential accommodation also includes your guest houses and all, right? Now coming to the third exception that says it is not allowed on ships, vessels, aircrafts, or any kind of road transportation vehicles. Ships, aircrafts, and any kind of road transportation vehicles, it is not allowed on them. And the last exception says what? If 100% deduction on actual cost is claimed on that particular plant and machinery, then that particular plant and machinery will not be eligible to claim additional depreciation on that, right? Now just quickly revise करते हैं इसको. How many eligible SSCs are there? Four eligible SSCs are there: manufacturing or production business, power generation business, power distribution business, and lastly your power transmission business. Now coming to that, additional depreciation is allowed at a rate of 20% on the actual cost of that asset. On the actual cost of that asset. But there are four exceptions. What are those? The first exception is that the plant and machinery should be brand new. It should not be second hand, right? The first exception is that सेकेंड हैंड मशीनरी, प्लांट एंड मशीनरी के ऊपर additional depreciation is not allowed. The second exception says what? It is not allowed if the asset is used in the office premises or it is used at the residential accommodation. Third exception says what? It says that it is not allowed if it is ships or aircraft or any kind of road transportation vehicles. And lastly, what? If 100% deduction has already been allowed on that plant and machinery in any previous year, then in that case, additional depreciation is not allowed. Now, another thing is that additional depreciation is always allowed in a previous year in which asset was first put to use. It is allowed in the first year in which that particular asset was put to use. Right? Now, again, there was an amendment in Finance Act 2015 which says that uh, if the asset was used for less than 180 days in the first previous year, then half of the rate will be provided as the additional depreciation. For example, 20% is the rate for additional depreciation, but if in the first previous year it was put to use for less than 180 days, then it will be then additional depreciation will be provided at a rate of 10% only. Now you will say, what about the remaining 10%? So the remaining 10% will be provided in the next previous year, right? In the next previous year, the remaining 10% will also be allowed. Now, again, the last point is that business of printing or printing and publishing, which is also a part of manufacturing and production. So again, printing and publishing businesses are also eligible for claiming additional depreciation, right? I really hope this particular concept is clear to you. And after watching this video, go and solve some questions on this. You might expect certain short questions from this, or additional depreciation may come as a short part of a long question, right? If you find this video helpful, then please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, The Witty Turtle, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that tomorrow you will be notified with a notification when I'll upload a new video. And don't forget to share this particular video with your CA and CMA final friends.